Most people think they need to make more money to get ahead, but the truth is, even a higher salary won't save you if your cash flow is broken. If you don't know how to manage what's coming in versus what's going out, you'll always feel like you're behind, no matter how much you earn. Cash flow isn't just some financial jargon. It's the heartbeat of your money. It tells you if you're growing, coasting, or slowly sinking. And when you master it, you unlock the ability to control your finances on your terms, not based on how much your employer pays or how often payday rolls around. The thing is, most people never really learn this. They budget a little, they cut a few costs, but they don't build a system, and that's why they stay stuck, working harder but always feeling broke. So today, let's break it down. Let's talk about how to actually master cash flow, even if you're not making six figures. First, we need to get honest about your current flow. Forget the word budget for a second. That word sounds like restriction. What we need is clarity. Most people don't even know their actual numbers. They know the rent, maybe the power bill, but ask them what their average monthly spending is, and it's just a guess. To master your cash flow, you need to know two numbers. 1. How much consistently comes in? Not what you could make. Not side hustle dreams. What's landing in your account after taxes each month? 2. How much consistently goes out? Not just bills, but everything. Food, transport, impulse buys, subscriptions, weekend stuff, takeout, that random thing you bought because it was on sale. Once you lay it all out, you'll see your pattern. This is your flow. And if your outflow is higher than your inflow, you're not stuck because of low income. You're stuck because your system is leaking. Plug the leak first, then grow. Now, here's something most people get wrong. They think mastering cash flow means cutting everything fun. That's not true. Mastering cash flow isn't about being miserable. It's about being intentional. You can still enjoy life. The difference is you choose what's worth spending on instead of letting your money disappear without a plan. Let's talk structure. One of the easiest ways to take control is by organizing your cash into buckets. Think of your money like water. If you don't direct where it goes, it'll spill everywhere. So create a simple structure. One account for essentials, one for short-term spending, and one for saving or investing. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. Essentials are your non-negotiables. Rent, bills, transport, food. This should be predictable. If this bucket is too high, you'll constantly feel squeezed. Adjust it where you can. Smaller apartment, shared transport, better deals on services. Small changes here create room for growth. The short-term spending bucket is where your lifestyle lives. This is groceries, eating out, entertainment, hobbies, personal care. This is where money tends to sneak out quietly. Most people overspend here not because they're reckless, but because it's easy. So cap it. Set a number you're allowed to spend and track it weekly. Not every cent, but enough to stay conscious and in control. Then comes the most important bucket, the one for your future. This includes savings, investments, debt paydown, anything that increases your net worth. And here's the rule. This bucket gets filled first, not last. Most people save what's left after spending, but wealthy people spend what's left after saving. That one switch changes everything. Let's say you make $50,000, you commit to saving 20%, that's $10,000. That goes out first, the moment you're paid, then you live on the remaining $40,000. If that feels tight, that's the point. It forces you to live smarter. You start questioning whether you need to buy lunch out every day or upgrade your phone again. You start choosing better. Here's another key. Automate your flow. The less you have to manually think about money, the more consistent you become. Set up automatic transfers into savings or investment accounts. Automate bill payments. Create a schedule for weekly check-ins. Remove the friction, and it becomes a system that works without willpower. And while we're on the subject, payday behavior matters more than you think. Most people get paid and feel rich for 48 hours. That's when the worst spending happens. But if your cash flow is structured, payday doesn't change your mood. It just feeds your system. That's when you know you're in control. Let's talk lifestyle creep. It's one of the biggest threats to positive cash flow. The moment you start making more money, it's tempting to upgrade everything: apartment, clothes, food, gadgets, and suddenly your expenses rise just as fast as your income. You feel like you're doing better, but your cash flow hasn't improved at all. Sometimes it even gets worse. To master cash flow long term, you need a resistance to lifestyle inflation. That doesn't mean you never upgrade, but upgrades should come from surplus, not from emotion or pressure. And they should never disrupt your savings flow. If you're still saving and investing consistently, then yes, enjoy a better phone or a nicer dinner. But if the upgrade kills your future bucket, it's not worth it. Now let's flip to the income side. A lot of people obsess over cutting costs, but there's a limit to how much you can cut. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Once your spending is under control, focus on increasing your inflow. This is how wealthy people create margin. not just by being frugal, but by growing income while keeping lifestyle steady. That might mean negotiating a raise, picking up a freelance gig, selling a skill, or even building a long-term side hustle that becomes a business. More income with the same expenses equals wider cash flow, and wider cash flow means more freedom. That's the game. You don't just make more to spend more, you make more to grow your financial gap. Another underrated part of mastering cash flow is understanding your money rhythm. Most people think managing cash flow is just about math, but it's also about timing and flow. Ask yourself this: does your money feel like a calm, steady rhythm or constant chaos? Are your bills scattered across the month, forcing you to play catch-up every week? Or are you grouping them so your spending feels smooth and predictable? One of the easiest changes you can make is syncing your money rhythm. Align bill payments around your payday. Keep your essentials grouped in the first half of the month. Automate your savings at the start, not the end. When everything flows in the same direction, it becomes easier to track and harder to mess up. This alone can eliminate the mental fatigue that comes with always trying to figure things out mid-month. A steady flow leads to a clear mind, and a clear mind makes better money decisions. Let's take it one step deeper. Once you have positive cash flow, meaning more is coming in than going out, you now have something powerful. Choice. You can invest. You can take a risk. You can take time off. You can walk away from a toxic job. That's the quiet freedom no one talks about. You don't need to be rich to feel it. You just need control. And when you look at how real wealth is built, it's not flashy. It's structured. Most millionaires didn't win the lottery or build empires overnight. They mastered their flow. They built a gap between income and lifestyle. They used that gap to buy assets. And they let those assets do the heavy lifting. That's the part people miss. Wealth isn't just about making money. It's about keeping it, growing it, and letting it flow in the right direction. And once you get this right, your whole approach to money changes. You stop reacting and start planning. You stop feeling stressed and start feeling steady. And that feeling, that's what financial peace really looks like. So if you're tired of feeling like your money disappears too fast, don't blame your income. Look at your system. Do you know your numbers? Are you deciding where your money goes or just reacting? Is your future bucket growing or always empty? These questions don't need complex spreadsheets to answer. Just a little awareness, a little planning, a little consistency. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to restrict every joy from your life. But you do need to pay attention. Because the people who master their cash flow quietly, consistently, are the ones who build wealth while everyone else is still wondering where their money went. If this helped you get clearer about your cash flow, make sure to like this video and subscribe. More content is on the way to help you take control of your money. Without hype, without pressure, and without waiting for some future version of yourself to figure it all out. The shift starts now. Thanks for watching. And remember, real wealth isn't built overnight. It's built quietly in the way you manage your flow, in the choices no one sees, and in the discipline that pays off later.